morning. Welcome to Morning Rush. I'm Holly Furfer in Atlanta with a look at the headlines this hour. Search and rescue operations are entering the 5th day in Central Texas as the death toll tops 100 from Friday's flash flood. More than 24 people remain missing, among them 10 campers and 1 camp counselor from Camp Mystic, the all-camp girls camp in Kerr County. President Trump says he will visit the area on Friday, and many questions remain about the timing of weather warnings and the evacuation plan. Authorities say those issues will be addressed at the right time. Scripps News correspondent Stephanie Liebergen joins us now from our D.C. newsroom with the latest. And Stephanie, you've been following the story from the beginning. So what's the latest that we know about the search and rescue efforts?
Hey, Holly, good morning. Well, as you mentioned, over 100 people killed in this flooding over the weekend. 84 of those deaths are in Kerr County alone, arguably the hardest hit area from this weekend flooding. Those campers, 10 campers and 1 counselor still missing from Camp Mystic. What we don't know, though, is exactly how many other people are missing. We've heard the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, said on Sunday that 41 other people were missing, but the officials in Kerr County have been hesitant to give a hard number of how many people are still missing from the weekend flooding. Now, as we've been talking about, Holly, Camp Mystic, one of the big focuses of this search, and also and kind of what happened before the flooding and why people weren't evacuated in advance. Some of those Camp Mystic camp counselors are now speaking out. One of them saying that, you know, when they're on duty at the camp, they don't have their cell phone. So even when this rain and the storm and the thunder started coming in, they thought that it was just another rainstorm and not a big deal. Take a listen.
I thought it was just lightning and thunderstorm. I had no idea the severity. I mean, I was awake throughout the night because it was loud and the cabins were shaking, but we've had thunderstorms and lightning at Camp Mystic multiple times, and it's always been okay.
We have heard a similar story from multiple survivors saying that they just didn't realize that this storm on Thursday night and Friday morning last week was so severe. As for that rescue effort happening right now, it is one of the largest ever rescue and recovery events to happen in the state of Texas. We've got 19 different local and state agencies trying to help in the effort. They're using drones, they're using dogs, they're using boats, they're using helicopters. We know there are over 1,000 volunteers in Kerr County alone. Remember, that hardest hit area. We know there are out-of-state teams helping, teams from Oklahoma, Missouri, Nebraska, Colorado, Virginia, and more. What the struggle is that all of these volunteers and these searchers are going through is it's a really long search area. They are searching over 60 miles along that Guadalupe River. So we are expecting to get some more information from the officials in Kerr County. They are expected to hold another press briefing starting at 10 a.m. local time, so it would be 11 a.m. for us on the East Coast, Holly.
And Stephanie, do we know any more about what emergency notifications actually went out ahead of the storm? I know the camp counselor said, you know, she really didn't have her phone, so she didn't hear anything, but what was sent out to folks to give them heads up?
We know that flood watch warnings went out from the National Weather Service about midday on Thursday, but a lot of focus has been in those overnight hours from Thursday into Friday. We know that evacuation alerts started to go out about 4 o'clock in the morning, but officials have said it's not really clear what type of communication or alerts might have gotten to those camps along the Guadalupe River between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. As we talked about yesterday, part of what made this flood so devastating is the fact that it happened in the overnight hours when people are typically asleep. Arguably, if this storm would have hit at maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it probably would have prompted a different response from people around. We know that area is known to flood, and that area is a high flood risk. So there's also some questions about why the camps weren't evacuated earlier, knowing that that flood watch did go out in the midday on Thursday. But as you noted, officials locally are focused on the search and rescue efforts first, and then they're going to go back, try to review those cell tower information, try to review those emergency alerts that did go out, see where they might have reached, where they might not have reached, and what they might need to do better for future storms.
All right, Scripps News correspondent Stephanie Liebergen live for us. Thank you for that update. We'll check back in with you.